What's up, YouTube? Rules for Rebels. So you guys are inside my phone right now. As you can see, there is blood in the streets. Cryptos are down today. Almost everything is in the red. So I figured I'd take you guys kind of through my list of holdings, as well as things I'm watching and things that I think are promising. And this is not investment advice, not telling you to buy these things, but this is kind of what I'm doing. This is kind of where I think these things are good buys. So Ripple is down today. You know, I'm invested pretty heavily in Ripple. You're looking at the chart for the last week. Ripple never really seems to do anything. They'll put out some promising announcements about Ripple technology is going to be used to do something on Alibaba, or Wells Fargo's looking into Ripple, but nothing ever really seems to happen with it. If I can get back up to 18-19 cents and be even, I think I might dump this one. I'll probably keep a little bit around, but not too pleased with Ripple. Monero could be a good buy right now. Monero is a pretty stable coin. It's somewhat like LItecoin in the sense it doesn't move a lot. It had been sitting around 50. It's down to 46.98. If we take a closer look here, kind of towards the bottom left of the screen, you can see the high in the last 24 hours of 49, the lows 43. So Ripple's not a bad buy, around 46. Starcoin, there's only one exchange you can buy Starcoin on, and it's called Yobit. I'm not currently trading Starcoin. I actually opened up an account on Yobit specifically to trade it. I haven't made a move yet. If you watched my video the other day, I show you guys how you can get a bunch of free coins on Yobit. So I will link to Yobit below if anyone's interested in that one. Bitcoin Cash isn't doing too terrible. I would say if you're looking to get rid of your Bitcoin Cash, I would set a limit order for about 320. It seems to hit every couple days. I really don't think personally we're gonna see Bitcoin Cash rebound. You never know. I know some people figure it's free money, they're going to hold it, but you know, I dumped mine last time it got up to 320, and I'm happy with my decision. Even if you want to hang on to your Bitcoin Cash, I think there's an opportunity cost to doing so, and by that I mean that if you were to sell it and put that money into something else, I think you could see more growth. You know, Ardor is not doing too much. I dumped that one a while back. Komodo recently had a big run, as you can see that peak on the chart there. In the last 24 hours, the high was 142, the low was 115. I'm not that bullish on Komodo, but I would say if you can get it for, I don't know, under $1.25 is probably not a terrible buy. Under $1.20 is a pretty good price. Waves, I was really optimistic about Waves, but I think Waves was a pump and dump. Let's see, Made Safe coin. You know, Made Safe, that was one that a lot of people were talking about, a lot of people were pumping. I don't really think it's that interesting of a project, and I don't think it's going to rebound. I think that one was kind of a pump and dump. Vertcoin, I'm kind of undecided on Vertcoin. A lot of people were pumping Vertcoin. It's down pretty heavy. I wouldn't really recommend doing anything with that one. I'm kind of confused why AntShares is still showing up. AntShares has actually been converted over to Neo, which you can see down here at the bottom. I'm somewhat confused by AntShares. I know one thing about Neo that I'll mention really quickly. If you have Neo and you're holding it in a wallet as opposed to an exchange, you earn something called gas. Now, whether this gas is the same thing as AntShares or not, I'm kind of confused. If you guys are more clear on that and want to drop a comment in the comment section below, please do that. One other thing I wanted to mention about this gas that Neo produces. So I guess right now there's a big fight that a lot of people are mad at Bittrex for quote-unquote keeping their gas, kind of in the same way that Coinbase was going to keep their Bitcoin Cash. Well, you know, I think everybody should quit whining, just move their Neo over to a wallet that they own and control, and then you'll be able to earn your gas. One other thing I heard, though, is that you can go on some Chinese exchanges and buy gas for like a fraction of what you could buy it on a US exchange for, and one of those exchanges is 19800.com. Again, that's 19800.com. They sell gas on there. I was kind of having a hard time wrapping my head around the price because they list it in Chinese yuan, renminbi, or whatever. But apparently there's some arbitrage opportunities with buying gas. Ethereum Classic, I've never really been super like crazy about, but it could be a decent buy. I don't think it's going to, I bet you, I mean, if you were to get in at 12, you might be able to ride it back up to 15. I don't see that one doing a whole lot. Bitshares, I think, is a good buy. Bitshares hasn't done a ton in a while. but it finally surged from like 10 or 12 cents up to, I don't know, 16 or 18. If you can buy Bitshares for, I wouldn't dump a ton into it, but if you can buy Bitshares for 13 or 14 cents, I don't think that's a bad buy. I think you can see a little come up on that. Siacoin's one I've been sitting on forever, and it never really moves up at all. We had some small movement up here. I think I might dump a little bit just because I bought in pretty heavily on this dip yesterday afternoon. So I may sell some of my Siacoin, but I'm going to keep my position there. You know, Golem is a really interesting project. I think it's definitely one that I think to hold for the long term, but it never really does a whole lot. So unless you're a long-term holder, I would suggest not doing Golem. Dash, you know, honestly, Dash is one of the higher market cap cryptocurrencies. I don't really know a ton about it, but you know, if you could pick up Dash for 184 or anywhere around there, that's a pretty good buy. Steem got hit pretty hard, man. I bought Steem the other day for $1.16 or $1.17. I rode it up to $1.54, dumped it, came back down to $1.17. I picked some up, rode it up to like $1.30, dumped it, and I'm sitting on a little bit of Steem right now. If you guys are on Steemit and you're actually going to put a serious effort towards Steemit now, or you know, if you can get around $1, I would, you know, load up with as much as you can. And this is only, you know, obviously, the more Steem you hold, the more you're going to earn on Steemit. Now, keep in mind, you can't hold your Steem on Bittrex or in a wallet. It has to actually be on your Steemit account for it to actually benefit you, and it actually has to be powered up. But if you are somebody who's doing a lot of blogging and vlogging and stuff on Steemit and plan on being there for a while, you know, now is a good time to buy Steem. And really, quite honestly, I think anytime you can buy Steem for under $1.25, it's a pretty good buy. Steem is a little bit of a more stable currency. It's not going to have the wild swings, but it does have a lot of movement. You know, you'll get some movement from 117 to 150, back down to 117 to 150. And it's a good, I think it's a pretty safe coin to swing trade. And I think part of that might be, you know, there's certain coins that you're more familiar with their patterns, and I'm pretty familiar with Steem since I'm on Steemit. So, you know, it's really kind of easy for me to predict what Steem's going to do. I'm really kicking myself. I wish I would have had a limit order set for $1.01 for Steemit. I'll probably buy some more today at 120. I'm into most of mine at $1.17 or lower. But yeah, I think anytime you can buy Steem for under $1.25, I think it's a pretty good buy. One thing I wanted to mention about limit orders. So I know a lot of people coming into cryptos don't really have a background in the stock market at all. Basically, the idea of a limit order, there's market orders and there's limit orders. So right now you can see here Steem is trading at $1.16. If I placed a market order, it would place the order right now and I'd buy at whatever the price is right this second, $1.16. What a limit order is, I could set an order and say, okay, I want to buy 500 Steem coins, but I want to buy them at $1.12. So if Steem never hits $1.12, my order will never execute. If it does go down to $1.12, that order will execute. Let's see here. ARK, man. I've been into ARK since like, I've been into ARK since like 45 cents. Really awesome to see. And ARK actually is a really interesting project for the long term. ARK and Lisk are very similar. ARK has never really done a whole lot up until like literally the past 24, 48 hours. We had an insane run. As you can see, even in the last 24 hours, the low was $1, the high is $2.78. As much as I do feel like this one is kind of being pumped, and that's one thing to keep in mind with cryptos, guys. Like in the stock market, it is illegal for people to band together and like run up a coin and pump a coin and then everybody dump it together. You can't like collude like that. However, cryptocurrencies are still kind of the Wild West, so there's a lot of like Facebook groups and forum groups where like literally hundreds of people will band together, drive up the price of a cryptocurrency, and then they'll all agree to sell at the same time. They all reap the profits, and everybody else are what's called bag holders. They're holding the bag, they're holding the losses. But ARK, even though I do feel like it's being pumped right now, ARK is a long-term project. It is a good project, and I think it will be in the $4 to $6 range within the next 6 months to a year. So I think this isn't a bad one to buy right now. I do think it'll come back down closer to $1. If you can buy it, you know, I don't know, under $1.25, it's a fantastic buy in my opinion. Let's see, Lisk, another interesting project. We're looking at the week chart for this. In the past 24 hours, it's been down to 191, been as high as 255. If you can pick up Lisk for $1.80 to $2, I feel like it's a fantastic buy. NEM, guys, I've been loving NEM since below 10 cents. again, NEM's like a very interesting project. I think it's going to be around long term. I think it's has a bright future, but it's sort of like Siacoin and some of these others. It never does a whole lot. However, in the past, I don't know, we'll say week or 10 days, it's run up from about $10 to 30 something cents. It's kind of trickled back down. I bought some at 25 cents the other day, actually yesterday, as a matter of fact. It was down as low as 20, but if you can pick this up for under a quarter, I mean, I hate when I get into a coin cheap and then it rises, because I hate buying it at like double the price I was in at. But I do think if you can buy XEM or NEM as they call it for under 20 cents, it's fantastic. Although even under a quarter, I think is pretty good. LItecoin, man, LItecoin's normally pretty stable. I loaded up on LItecoin. I'm kind of kicking myself. It's only a couple bucks, but I am a member of the millionth club for LItecoin. So what that means is I hold at least 88 LItecoin. There's 88 million LItecoin in existence. So I own, over 1 millionth of all the LItecoin in existence. With Bitcoin, and really it's not that huge of an amount of money. I think it's probably five or 7 grand that puts you in the millionth club. With Bitcoin, I think you need, I don't know, prices have changed. Last time I had checked, you needed like $88,000 to be in the millionth club of Bitcoin, because there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. So if you own 21 Bitcoins, you own 1 millionth of the currency. Anyhow, LItecoin never really does a whole lot. I do think it's going to be around for a long time. It's like the silver to the Bitcoin gold. Like I said, I had sold some off in the 50s the other day, and I was down to, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 LItecoin, and I wanted to get back up to that millionth mark. I want to hold 1 millionth of all the coins while I still can. So I bought some at 45, 46 bucks yesterday. I saw it drop down to 40, which is really kind of rare for LItecoin. It was down to 35 a while back, but then it surged up to 50. So LItecoin, I think, is a fantastic buy right now. If you can get it for under $45, in my opinion, it's a really good buy. Ethereum, let's see, what has Ethereum done? Ethereum was up as high as I thought it said 388. As high as 301, as low as 269. I was really bullish on Ethereum. I had like more money in Ethereum than I had in Bitcoin, and then I kind of started hearing a lot of people talking bad about Ethereum. I started being a little bit less enthusiastic about it. I still hold quite a bit, but I don't know. I guess make your own decision about Ethereum. I don't feel comfortable really calling anything with it. Bitcoin, 41.37 in the last 24 hours. It's been as high as $4,434, as low as $39.44. It always seems to pull back. I've been tempted a couple times to take profits at $4,300, $4,400 because I figured I could buy back in at $39. Although I'm always scared to pull the trigger, because with my luck, as soon as it gets to 44 and I sell, it's going to surge up to like 5,400, and I'm going to have to wind up buying back at like $1,000 more than I was in for. So I haven't really done anything. Curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Are you holding all your Bitcoin? Or are you trying to make some swing trades during some of this volatility? Of course, volatility is when we make money. Gigabyte, I just recently added this one to my watch list. I don't know a ton about it. 24-hour high was 336. 24-hour low was 283. I think if you can buy this one below, let's look at the month chart here. This one's on a deep slide. I might stay away from that one. Let's see here. Civic, man. Civic's had a crazy run the past few days. In the past 24 hours, we've had a high of 50, or a low of 53, a high of 69. I'm still unsure whether Civic is like a pump and dump, or whether it's here to stay and it's really a good project. I would probably stay away from this one for now, but curious to hear your guys' thoughts, because I do hear some people saying this one's going to $6 or whatever else. So curious to hear what you guys have to say about Civic. Neos is garbage, just stay away from it. Dice, I'm not sure what that is or why I added it. Omai's Go, I would dump this one. People were really bullish about this one. It's had a really big run up in like the past month, as you can see. I guess it's been a pretty steady run up, but a lot of people are really bullish on this coin. I personally think this is kind of a pump and dump. I sold at like $7 the other day. If you're into this cheap and saw big profits, I would sell off at least some of it. If you want to keep some and let it ride, cool. But yeah, I think this one's going down. And lastly, we have Neo. I was scared. I was kicking myself. I was watching shares or whatever at like $4, then at $6. I'm like, oh, it's too high. Then it's 7. Oh, it's too high. I don't want to buy in. And it's 9. Too high. I don't want to buy in. And it's 10. Oh, well, now it's really too high. I don't want to buy in. And it shoots up to 16. Oh, I don't want to buy in. It just kept running and kept running. People call it the Ethereum of China. They're having a lot of their meetings and training sessions at the Microsoft Center in China. There was a lot of excitement because they'd been meeting with Alibaba or had worked with Alibaba on a project. A lot of people get excited like, oh, will Amazon start using Bitcoin? The same way people are like, oh, will Alibaba start using Neo? And it really would make sense for Alibaba to start using cryptocurrencies because a lot of sellers on Alibaba want you to pay them in Western Union or MoneyGram, which not only is it not really safe, I suppose cryptocurrency isn't any safer, but at least you can have like escrow. The money can be held in escrow and things like that, unlike Western Union or MoneyGram. But also, Western Union and MoneyGram cost a lot of money. It's sometimes a pain in the butt to send bank wires to suppliers in China or India or the Philippines or Indonesia or wherever else. So cryptocurrencies would make a lot of sense. It's cheaper to do transfers, it's faster, etc. There's no fees for the manufacturers who are working on really low margins. A lot of people are saying this could go up to like $600. It really dipped low yesterday at 36. I bought some at 46, so I'm actually down on a big purchase of mine. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm up because I had bought a couple days ago. But anytime you can get this on a dip under $40, I think it's a pretty good buy. I think this will run back over $50 today. And that's really kind of cryptocurrencies in a nutshell today. Like I said, everything's in the red today. I really love catching falling knives, so I'm probably going to continue buying today. Could things continue to slide? Absolutely. Could things rebound? They very well could. I'm curious to hear your guys' predictions. What coins are you watching? Are any of these coins on my watch list, on your watch list as well? What are you bullish on? What do you think cryptos are going to do in the next day, in the next week? Any predictions, any thoughts, any comments you guys have, drop them in the comment section below. And I'll catch you guys later for Side Hustle Tuesdays.